Hello, I'm Mark Ells, Barnstable Town Manager, and this is my Town Manager communication for February 5th, 2025. We continue with the preparation of the capital and operating budgets for FY26. We're following our budget action calendar and plan the submittal of the recommended FY 2026 capital budget to Town Council mid-March, with a first reading of the capital budget on May 3rd, 2025. I'll also be holding a fiscal year 2026 proposed fee hearing in mid-March. So those would be fees that might be modified starting July 1st of 2025, and they would coincide with the fiscal year FY26. And for more information, you can go on our website and access budget information and other information as it becomes available. As previously reported, the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs issued a notice of public hearing and draft regulations for implementing the Public Lands Preservation Act, now referred to by the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs as the Open Space Act. The Public Lands Preservation Act and the draft regulations concern process and mitigation for the disposition or change in use of land or interest in land protected under Article 97 of the amendments of the state constitution. Town Attorney's Office submitted comments on the draft regulations, and we received comments at the last town council meeting, and subsequent to that meeting, those comments continued. So I'm going to offer a clarification on that comment letter. It's the same comment letter, but given the comments that were made, it merits additional information. During and after that town council meeting on January 30th, the council and I received several oral and written public comments regarding the draft regulations issued by the EEA, the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, to implement the Public Lands Preservation Act, and also known as the Open Space Act, and to codify the Section 5A of Chapter 3 of the General Laws, and our legal department commented on that. Commented on the draft regulations. Because the comments that were made were inaccurate in a number of regards, I wanted to provide this additional information to clarify what Article 97 and the PLPA do, how they're different, the role of the draft regulations, and how the EA Article 97 land disposition policy fits in, and providing accurate information. I hope this clarifies some of the questions and statements that were made. Now, Article 97 of the amendments of the state constitution requires a 2/3 roll call vote of the legislature for a change of use or disposition of lands and easements protected under Article 97. This can only be changed by a constitutional amendment approved by the voters of the Commonwealth. There are a number of ways to get Article 97 bill involving municipal lands before the legislature. The typical way is through a home rule petition. This has not changed. The Public Lands Act codifies in state law the Energy and Environmental Affairs longstanding policy for a no net loss of lands protected by Article 97, and does so by setting requirements for an alternatives analysis and replacement land, which must be addressed prior to the filing of an Article 97 bill with the legislature, which typically occurs through a municipal home rule petition. For all municipal home rule petitions, and not just for those involving Article 97, the state constitution sets the quorum of vote at a simple majority. Therefore, the state legislature could not change the municipal vote to a two-thirds absent a constitutional amendment. For the town to impose upon itself a higher two-thirds vote of the town council for filing home rule petitions, the town would need to either do so through a change in the town charter or through a special act of the legislature initiated by a home rule petition approved by the town council. EEA can't include in its regulations a two-thirds vote requirement for filing a home rule petition because, again, the state constitution sets the vote at a simple majority. For this reason, our legal department considered but did not include in its written statements anything regarding a two-thirds vote from the EEA's policy. Many of the comments shared with the council and myself suggested that you know that the town should seek a home rule petition from the legislature. The EA's policy, which required a two-thirds vote from the town council and a unanimous vote of the Conservation Commission, must be followed. This is not correct. The policy vote requirements are not legal requirements, and therefore the town can choose whether to comply with them. A policy does not have the force of law and cannot set legal requirements. Accordingly, failure to comply may result in a loss of eligibility for EEA grant funds, but there's no other consequence and nothing to prevent the town from filing a home rule petition approved by a majority vote of the council as long as the Public Lands Act process is followed. So I hope this summary is helpful to explain, using accurate information, the comment letter submitted by our legal department relative to these proposed changes. Certainly available to have further discussion on this, and we'll do so and actually send out further and more detailed clarifying letters, to address this. But we'll keep you informed as this matter progresses. I received an email from MIT as a follow-up to my conversation with Sujanya Paul from MIT Renewable Energy Facility Siting Clinic, requesting that Barnstable enter into a letter agreement with MIT regarding spring semester continuation of the clinic. And I've taken that letter that they've submitted, that letter agreement, and shared it with my staff, and they're reviewing it and will comment on it. But I did verbally state that I support the clinic to continue the stakeholder survey, and that I wanted to have further discussion, certainly with my staff and the town council, relevant to next steps and what else might be gained through this effort, and that I would communicate that back to MIT. So that's something that I still need to do, and we'll do so after additional discussion with town council leadership. I did brief town council leadership on the fact that I was supportive of the clinic continuing this spring, and they concurred that was something that they would like to see completed. But again, I'd like to talk more with our staff and the council to make sure that the final action items in this are clear, and then I'll ask them to proceed, if not this spring, perhaps with additional efforts. So more to come on that. Town of Barnstable residents have multiple ways to communicate with the town. I've shared with you and encouraged everybody to add the app, the Town of Barnstable app, to their phones. But we have many other ways that you can reach us. And I wanted to give you something very practical to look at if you need to. And so, we've developed a new video to provide that information. And thank you very much to our communications department and staff for doing this. And I've included the link to that video in my town manager communication. And shortly you will be able to find it and see it on our website. I encourage you all to click in and watch it. And I hope it's useful and helpful so that you can better understand how to communicate with us, whether it be a concern about enforcement of some issue in our community, or to report a concern, or whatever it is, to comment on something that we're doing. So I thank you in advance for taking a look at it, and I hope it's helpful. That ends my portion of the town manager communication. And now James Scupper, our Director of Planning and Development, will provide an update on the local comprehensive plan and great streets. Thank you.
All right, hello. This is Jim Cupford, Director of Planning and Development, here to provide two quick updates for the town manager communication. First is our local comprehensive plan update. The local comprehensive planning committee is currently reviewing an initial draft of the complete local comprehensive plan, which includes all the efforts coordinated to date, including the existing conditions plan with data and narrative for the town's natural, built, and community systems, the community vision that was developed over the course of a year, key issues and opportunities organized by chapter topics, an initial draft of the action plan with location and topic-specific actions to be achieved over the next 10 years. The committee will continue to discuss the comments for the draft local comprehensive plan at their upcoming meeting to be held on Thursday, February 13th at 6 p.m. right here in Town Hall within the hearing room. Upon coordination of the committee's comments, the draft local comprehensive plan will be made available to the public for review, and comments will likely be out, or the comment period will likely be towards the end of February. A robust public outreach effort will be coordinated within the release, with the release of the draft plan to ensure that the community is informed of and engaged in this important effort to provide final comments for the town's local comprehensive plan. So the goal here is by the end of February, we should have a draft plan for public review. And again, in March timeframe, we should be back out into our community, getting public feedback from everyone interested in participating. If you have any questions regarding this project, please contact Kate Maldonado, Senior Planner, by email at caitlin.maldonado@town.barnstable.ma.us or by phone at 508-862-4791. You can also stay up to date on the upcoming meetings and events and learn more by going to our website at barnstablelcp.com. You can access that through the town's website or going directly to, again, barnstablelcp.com. Secondly, a quick update on the Great Streets project. The Great Streets project continues to be a priority of the town. The Planning and Development Department, in collaboration with DPW, have been meeting weekly to fine-tune that 25% design and guiding our consulting engineer to the 75% design. That will be available to the public in the coming weeks. So that 75% design is where we can really start getting feedback from the public on a much more refined design. We have also continued to work with various utility companies on pole relocation at the 6 Points intersection, which is an important early step to maintain the current timeline. The hope, again, is to hold a public workshop on that 75% design this winter to gain feedback and move to final design. If you have any questions regarding this project, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself by email, again, james.kupfer@town.barnstable.ma.us, or by phone, 508-862-4784, or never hesitate to stop by the office. Thank you.